Well, we're out here in the kind of the shallow part of this cove, kind of the shallow flats, and a lot of our fish today kind of moved up on the flats where that water's warming up real quick. And so that really brought into play the bobber fishing because we started seeing shad up high. And so a lot of the crappie would just follow them around, and they weren't more than a foot to 4 foot deep. Right now, there's a bunch of fish kind of out in front of us that we're seeing with our forward-facing sonar. We're just gonna flip some bobbers out there and see if we can get a few of them to bite. As you can tell with the electronics that we've got movement all around us, and there's sometimes they'll seem like they'll spook a little bit, get close to the boat and kind of go around us, and sometimes they come back just depending on how long you set on them. They're still there. Perfect. We got them surrounded. I don't know what depths you guys are set at. I'm set at about 2 foot because we're only in about 3 foot of water, or 3.5 foot of water. So we just want to try to stay above them just a little bit. We got the fixed bobber. We can adjust our height real easily, depth, whichever direction we need to go, depending on what the fish level is. All you gotta do is just pull it forward or backwards, whichever. It's very easy to adjust. And whenever that bait's in the water, it stands like this. And whenever it's standing upright like that, it's a good indicator bobber because it either just pull it straight down, or if a fish hits it and brings it up, the bait will just lay flat like that. Either way, you can always tell that there's a fish on there. You gotta fish above them a lot of times, and being that we're only in 3.5 foot of water, you know, and it's clear enough that they can see your bait plumb almost to the top. So I think whenever they get more aggressive, you know, you can keep it a little higher. There it is. They're playing. Another good solid one. Yeah, whenever we're fishing with a bobber, a lot of times, there's times whenever just dead sticking it works, but today they seemed like they wanted some movement, so we would take and work this bait. We would sometimes just give it a slight pull, let that bait kind of come up when you pulled it, and then it would actually flutter back down, and there was a lot of our bites came as soon as that bait come back down right straight below the bobber.
What are you doing there? I didn't see anything.
Bobby Garland has come out with a new bait called a mayfly. They got some new packaging, and it's kind of a little creature looking bait. Awesome bait. We probably caught, I'm going to say we caught 70 to 100 keepers today on this bait. It's real simple. Same practice on putting the bait on. You just put it on like a typical skirt of any kind of plastic skirt that you use. Place it to where it's pushed against the head, and put it to work.
You do got a little one.
Yep.
Ah.
Let me get it closest to the camera. Today we were throwing an FX rod. This is a 7'4". It works awesome with a bobber because it gives you a little bit of chance to even fish deeper if you need to with standard fixed bobber. It's a real lightweight rod. You can make a real long cast with it, so it worked perfect for us today. 3 different baits probably was our main baits. Was a slab hunt R. We also use the baby shad, which is always a favorite for people, and then we also use this new bait today. This is called a mayfly. Most of them that we fished with today were purple monkey blue eyes and monkey milk. That was really our primary bait. Now this is a school of shad and crappie around it. So we need to cast it, get around it. If we get close enough to that school, they'll bite. It's all about electronics right there, just watching the fish come up there. And that mayfly was just too much for him. Pretty solid crappie too.